The line has to be drawn here, this far and no further!
Hey everyone, Mikey here, and today I have something a little different for you. Today I'm going to give you a guide on how to tank an infected Space Elite, or ISE as it is more commonly referred to. With the entry barriers into tanking not being nearly as expensive as DPS or control builds can be, the main trait for tanking comes from a C-Store ship, the T6 Ambassador, and a very useful console, the Ironstorm Generator, comes from the T6 Baran, which is also a C-Store ship. Tanking is something that more players can have access to, and tanks are always in demand for doing ISEs and other elite level TFOs. There are several good videos out there on how to set up a good tank build for doing elite level content, several of which I myself have watched and used in building my tank. However, one thing that isn't covered is how do you successfully tank an ISE? After you pick your ship, the consoles, and the traits, the next most important thing will be your piloting. Being in the right place at the right time is essential to having a successful tanking run. A successful tanking run comes down to two very important duties. The first is keeping your teammates alive, and second, taking in as many of the enemy attacks as possible. A good tank will be able to have 80% or more of all the attacks in during an ISE run. Being a good tank allows the DPS players to do what they do best, and that is to do as much damage as possible in the shortest amount of time. The vast majority of DPS and even control builds are very fragile and do not have the ability to absorb much damage. That is why having a good tank with you is a must. Your piloting as a tank is just as, if not more important, as the other aspects of your build, and the timing of your positioning is a very fine line. If you're out of position or are late to one of the stages, you are putting your teammates in danger and risking the run going bad. In this video, I will walk you through one of my many tanking runs during an ISE and explain my positioning and the timing of my movements, as well as when I activate certain abilities. So the first thing we're going to look at is what exactly a tank's duties are in an ISE. The primary function, of course, is keeping all your teammates alive. The second is taking in as many of the incoming attacks as possible by generating more threat than your teammates. Area of effects, damage over time, debuff abilities, heals, and Fire at Will 3 are going to be your primary sources of generating threat, as is being the first to arrive at each stage to ensure the enemies focus on you and not your teammates. The Discovery 3-piece space set is a must, as the Mycelial Lightning attack acts both as an attack and a taunt, thus generating threat. Your outgoing damage is secondary to generating threat. Also, if you have a gravity well equipped, it is your responsibility as a tank to controlling all the enemies at the two transformers. And if able, depending on your build, also provide some debuffing abilities towards the enemies. Upon entering the map and during the briefing stage, I recommend doing the following actions in this order. Immediately turn on your threatening stance and your attract fire. If equipped, start launching your pets, but make sure you do not have the tactical cube targeted at this point. Third, summon the Kobayashi Maru to start buffing yourself and your teammates. At the 5-second mark, start spooling up your abilities and now target the tac cube. At 2 seconds, activate your evasive maneuvers. Now we enter the first stage of the ISE. You need to position yourself above the tac cube, thus ensuring that you can hit all the other enemies at this stage and maintain the threat. I recommend staying within 3 kilometers above the tac cube. To me, this is the best position that I have found. When the tac cube gets down to about 20% health, switch your targeting to the cube on the right side. This is extremely important. When that cube is down to about 5% health, start moving towards the transformer on the left side of the map. At this stage, the left cube will either be destroyed or in the process of being destroyed by the DPSers. Do not wait for this cube to be destroyed before moving on. You need to get yourself into position quickly. To do that, you need to use either your emergency power to engines to get your evasive maneuvers off of cooldown, or if you're close enough, a deuterium surplus is also a good option. Now we get to the second stage of the ISE, which is the left transformer. You want to target the transformer and position yourself above it, but below the cube. This way you will be able to attack everything in this stage. If you are running a gravity well, now is the time to use it, but make sure you are using it on the transformer. This way, when the spheres warp in, they are dragged towards the transformer where the DPS players will be able to kill them more efficiently. Once the transformer is destroyed, this is the time where the tank needs to start moving to the next stage. Don't worry about the leftover trash, because it won't last long with the rest of your team focusing on destroying them. You need to get to the right transformer as quickly as possible. While you are moving from left to right, attack the group in the center with a single fire at will volley as well with the mycelial lightning, but quickly change your focus to the next transformer. Now we get to the third stage, which is the right transformer. It is pretty much identical to everything we have just done on the left transformer. The only difference is is going to be the cooldown for your gravity well. If it is off a cooldown, use it. If not, hold on to it and use it at the next stage. Once again, position yourself above the transformer but below the cube. Depending on your piloting skills, this is the one that can be a little tricky, but with practice and patience, you will get it eventually. And again, once the transformer is destroyed, you need to transition and move towards the gateway. And again, don't worry about the leftovers. Your teammates will take care of that. Now we get to the fourth stage, which is the gateway. You want to position yourself in between the gateway and the tactical cube. Try to be in line with the top of the gateway. If you have any debuff consoles equipped on your ship, now is the time to use them. If you didn't use your gravity well on the transformer, use it on the gateway. It will help pull the spheres and the probes towards it while you're waiting for your control player to activate theirs. Also, if you're like me and you're running the improved gravity well trait on your build, putting it on the gateway is beneficial for the debuff. Now is also the time when you need to start looking around the map to see if there's any leftover enemies wandering around the map. If able, try to position yourself to hit them, but be careful because you need to make sure the gateway and the tactical cube keep their focus on you. If you're unable to position yourself to handle any leftover enemies, call it out and one of your teammates should be able to handle it. If there is nothing left over, keep your focus on the gateway until it is destroyed. Now we get to the final stage of the ISE, which is the last tactical cube in the center. Use any speed boosts you might have to get above the tactical cube, and again, I recommend staying within 3 kilometers. I recommend going above the tactical cube and away from your teammates. This way, the tactical cube, if it uses torpedo spread, it's only going to hit you and not your teammates. Also, at this stage, use any and all abilities and consoles that are off of cooldown to help destroy the tactical cube as quickly as possible. So in conclusion, when you were looking at the parse report, you will be looking at the total attacks in percentage. Anything above 80% total attacks in is considered to be a good run and a good tank. With anything above 90% is going to be considered excellent or elite level tank. However, the most important part of a tank is keeping everyone alive. If everyone was kept alive, the run is a success, regardless of how much attacks in you took. As you can see from this example I have on screen, I had a hair under 97% total attacks in. And that was with some pretty heavy hitters and very good players, my very good friends JB, Augie, and Mud. So here we are at the briefing stage, and I have already activated both Threatening Stance and Attract Fire. I was a little late in activating my Kobayashi Maru, which I activate here, I believe, about now. Now I am starting to spool up all my abilities, targeting the Tactical Cube, and activating evasive maneuvers to get myself into position, as well as launching the Tri-Cobalt Tear console. I slid a little bit, but I still ended up about where I wanted, and that is just above the Tactical Cube. That way I can ensure I am attacking everything. Now that the Tactical Cube is almost dead, I have already targeted and attacked the second cube on the right. And as its health is going down, I've already started moving, activating emergency powered engines, targeting the transformer, hitting it with my gravity well, now getting into position above the transformer and below the cube. This way I can attack everything, including the generators. And you notice now the spheres have warped in. My gravity well has sucked them to the transformer. Now that the transformer is dead, I've activated my evasive maneuvers, attacking the middle group with a volley, and getting myself into position above the right transformer. Gravity well was off cooldown, so I activated it. And again, position myself above the transformer and below the cube. So this way, again, attacking everything. I'm constantly spamming hazard emitters as it becomes available. 1 to cleanse the plasma fires, and 2 to activate logistical support. Now the transformer is destroyed, I've made my way to the gateway. I've also this is when I activate my DPRM, my Ion Storm generator, as well as my gravity well on the gateway. I'm trying to generate as much threat as possible at this stage to ensure every single enemy sees me and me only. I am also starting to look around the rest of the map to see if there's any random enemies, and in this case there was. There was a sphere behind us, and you see that I am trying to position myself to attack both the sphere while maintaining the focus of the Tactical Cube. Now that the sphere is destroyed, targeting the Tactical Cube, launching my Tri-Cobalt Tear again, because it's an AoE and DOT, keeping the threat, activating Gravity Well, because I use improved Gravity Well and it debuffs, and basically spamming anything and everything I have off of cooldown. Once again, take another quick look around the map to ensure there's nothing extra floating around. And boom, that's it. Mission complete. I hope everyone has enjoyed this guide on how to successfully tank an ISE. Everything I've covered in this video works for me, and your results may vary. I am by no means saying that I am the best tank out there. I do know that there are several far superior tanks than I am, and everyone has their own opinions on how to play this game, and that is fine. If you have any suggestions or believe that I've missed out on anything, please leave them in the comments and I will happily take a look at them. Thank you everyone for watching. Please do the normal YouTube things, comment, like, and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. And until the next video, I hope everyone has a fantastic day. Bye bye for now.